From the Lower Colorado River Authority, this is Wavelength.
The creation of this new river authority will help electrify rural Texas.
And so today, we gather here to dedicate this mighty structure, the Cannondale.
But this has been a great organization for 60 years. It's going to be a great organization for a long time to come.
Hi everyone, welcome to the December 2003 edition of Wavelength. Well, 10 years ago, LCRA began the process of modernizing and upgrading the Highland Lakes dams. Recently in Marble Falls, another major step in that process was recognized. With that ribbon cutting, LCRA marks the dedication of these 10 new floodgates at Max Starkey Dam in Marble Falls. The two-year, $25 million project was completed in September as part of LCRA's Dam Improvement Program, which involves work at all 6 Highland Lakes dams.
This is gate number 3. It's been welded together. We've got the finished weld. It's been inspected. We're ready to do sandblasting and metallizing.
The Starkey project also involved construction of this impact slab below the floodgates and removal of huge rocks and rubble from the riverbed below the dam. Completed in 1951, it was originally named Marble Falls Dam. Then in 1962, it was renamed for LCRA's second general manager, Max Starkey. Governor Price Daniels spoke at the 1962 dedication ceremony, which was attended by many dignitaries and covered by a San Antonio TV crew. Today's rededication was held on the same spot at Starkey Dam. It too was attended by many dignitaries and was covered by area news media. One special guest at the dedication was also present at the 1962 event. She is Margaret Woodruff Weeding, the daughter of Max Starkey.
I am so happy that my father's memory is still being honored because that meant a lot to him. He always talked about flowers to the living, but nevertheless, I think he would have liked to have flowers to the dead too. And since his birthday is tomorrow, it's an especially moving occasion. I've never seen anything like the way my father loved the LCRA, and I think that it was largely because he appreciated the way everybody worked together to make a success.
Based on everything that I can read and hear about Max Starkey, he was all about public service and service to the people that were his customers. And I feel like the group here at LCRA today, myself included, is carrying on that tradition, and I'm sure that people that follow us will do the same thing.
These new hydraulic floodgates replaced the 50-year-old bear trap gates, which were badly rusted. Not only are the new gates more reliable and more efficient at passing floodwaters, they are also much safer for employees to operate.
Where before we used to have to get out on these gates and physically walk out on them. Waves could be washing over, it's pouring down rain, lightning striking around. Now we don't have to do that. Just to push the button from inside one of the control houses, the gates go up and down as we need. It's much quicker. In about 3.5 minutes we can open a gate, where before it might take 30 minutes for that to happen. And that's better for our folks that live up and down the river, and it's better for our employees.
The teamwork that was involved goes far beyond just the water side of LCRA. The issues that we're dealing with here dealt with environmental issues, the water quality and management of the river while we were under construction. The elements involved also involved purchasing, who had to help us select engineering firms and contractors who could build the facilities for us. It's a little known fact, but the gates that are here behind me were actually fabricated by LCRA's Smithville Rail Yard facility.
Each of the new gates is 60 feet wide, 15 feet tall, and weighs 30 tons. When fully open, each gate can discharge 10,400 cubic feet of water per second.
33 employees of the Thomas C. Ferguson Power Plant in Marble Falls have reached another safety milestone. They have now worked 16 years without a days away from work injury or illness. That's 1.5 million safe worker hours.
You will know when you hear a loud siren here.
For Mike Glasser, the 5th plant manager at Ferguson, safety is part of the culture here that has been passed on to new employees through the years.
Since this facility came online in August 1974, there's only been 2 lost time injuries, one back in 1981 and one in 1987. And now we've gone 16 years since the last one.
Employees at Ferguson really work at creating a safe environment. They have a plant safety committee which reviews all safety-related issues. Plus, they have a safety monitor program which has a different employee walk through the entire facility each week looking for any safety problems.
The milestone that we've reached hasn't been easy. There's lots of jobs that take a lot of consideration, and we all know that it don't take but just 1 second and things can change in a hurry. Looking out for each other has been probably the biggest reward for each of us.
A special appreciation luncheon was held for employees on December 3rd, and each member of the Ferguson team received a discretionary cash incentive.
Forward. Hundreds of LCRA employees, family members, and friends attended Veterans Recognition Day at Vernon Richards Park in Smithfield on November 6th. The theme of this year's event, Some Gave All.
This is a day that we pay tribute to our employees and family members, both past and present, who have served their country. Sadly, freedom is never free. It must be bought and paid for with the lives of those who were proud to serve their country. All gave some gave all. That phrase can also fill us with love and pride as we remember our own friends and relatives who served their country honorably. It is especially true in the roll call of LCRA employees who answered the call for service.
This special exhibit was designed by LCRA staff to honor 4 LCRA veterans who were chosen to represent all those who have gone before in service to their country, in time of war and in peace. Art Anderson, Lieutenant Commander, U.S. Navy Seabees, World War II. He worked at LCRA from 1939 to 1978 in engineering and later as Director of Park Development. He was a very talented artist both in the military and at LCRA. Jerry Bozarth, Corporal, United States Marine Corps. Jerry was awarded the Vietnamese Cross of Gallantry with Bronze Star for his actions in Vietnam in 1968. Jerry worked in transmission services from 1963 to 1995. This photo of Jerry on the battlefield in Vietnam appeared in Life magazine. Tony Coons, Sergeant, U.S. Army. Tony worked in the Kerrville District from 1964 to 1965. Sergeant Tony Coons was killed in action in South Vietnam on May 4, 1967. He was posthumously awarded the Distinguished Service Cross for gallantry in action. Lieutenant Commander J.T. Patterson, U.S. Navy. He served in World War II and Korea. Mr. Patterson worked at LCRA from 1942 to 1981 in accounting and later as personnel officer. His daughter, Justice Jan Patterson, attended the event. She said her father was so very proud of his service, both in the military and at LCRA.
This service occurs exactly a year from the day he died, and it is so meaningful to me to have him recognized in this wonderful way in these photographs marching up Congress Avenue and with my mother. So it's a special tribute at this time, and it's so special to all of us after 9/11 to remember these men who did so much to keep what we have today.
LCRA Board Chair Bob Lambert told those assembled how important it is to show support for our soldiers, both past and present.
Our volunteer soldiers in both Afghanistan and Iraq have clearly demonstrated that they are the finest military force the world has ever seen. They are now involved in serious, non-traditional military activity. They deserve the 100% support of the American people. Today's celebration is an important opportunity to remember and honor our veterans. I am glad I was able to be a part of it, and again, thank you for your attendance and your support of our veterans.
Comfortable speed is about 40 miles an hour. Top speed's about 65, and it's screaming.
Herb Tate spent a year and a half restoring this 1944 World War II Jeep. It's a hobby, he says, that goes back to his childhood.
This was the icon of World War II. It was the staple for the soldier. They, just like K rations, they had the Jeep and they wanted it. It got them everywhere they needed to go and got them out if they needed to get out.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies.
And you just take time to reflect, and particularly this year with the events in Iraq and Afghanistan and the young men and women in harm's way, it's a tremendous idea, LCRA, to put this on and let us all tag up, kind of get our bearings of what's important and what's not.
And crown thy good with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea.
On behalf of the LCRA Board of Directors, I'd like to thank you for a very successful 2003, and really specifically thank you for all the hard work that you do for all the communities that we serve. And we surely wish you a happy holiday season and a very successful 2004.
Well, I can't believe that it's a whole nother year gone past since the last holiday season. It seems like it was only just yesterday. I know from a personal standpoint, this has been a really good year for me. My health is still great, my family's doing well, and I'm still having a fantastic time here at LCRA. We got a lot done together this year, thanks to you and to your effort. I know that it was sort of a difficult year from an economic standpoint around the area that we serve, and I know that we had to pitch in and try extra hard to be cost effective in the services that we provided this year, but we did it, and at the end of the year we were all able to share in gain sharing again, so that was great for this last year. As we approach the holiday season, I think it's important to remember that there are folks that are less fortunate than us that could stand some help from us, and if you have the opportunity, I hope that you can share the holiday spirit with those folks. And also, please keep in mind the men and women that are serving to protect our freedom overseas. They are not able to be with their families this holiday season, and that includes some individuals from our LCRA family. So please keep them in your thoughts and prayers as you go through the holiday season. Finally, be safe. It's going to be very easy to have accidents over this holiday season. You're going to be thinking about fun things with your family and maybe not paying as much attention to safety as you should. So please keep in mind, stay safe, go have a great holiday season, and come back ready to get after it again after the first of the year. I want to wish all of you employees and your families a very happy holiday season.